Building a home can be a great option for people, particularly when inventory is low and properties are getting bid up left and right during a seller's market, or if you're just having a hard time finding exactly what you want and you can't get it. We've personally built several homes in the past and have thoroughly enjoyed it each time. I would say be forewarned, it's not necessarily for the faint of heart. So with that said, here are 6 keys to know when considering a new home build. And real quick, if you find this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification below. That would really mean a lot. And of course, if you have specific questions not covered in the video, by all means comment and we'll hit you back with an answer.
Number 1, understand all the variables when building, especially a custom build. We often hear it's easy, just add the cost of land plus the cost to build the house and boom, that's your total budget. Well, it's just not that simple.
Is that a movie reference?
Maybe. It's not that simple. There are a lot of things to consider. Yes, of course the cost of land is important, and so is the cost of construction. These items are what we call hard costs. But the builder or developer tell you there are also soft costs to consider. Soft costs are things like survey work, site engineering, any clearing that might need to be done on the lot, soil boring, aka testing, preparing the site for construction, front-end grading, finish grading, and so forth. Another soft cost is utilities. There can be variables here too, comparing, let's say, city water and sewer, or installing a well and septic. Some builders charge also an architect and designer fee. Some include that in their pricing. So as you can see, there are quite a few things to consider, and you're gonna want to gather that information as early as possible in the process.
So number 2, get with a lender and get really familiar with your budget. There are essentially 3 pieces to the puzzle when establishing your budget: your actual house plan and specs, the piece of land that you find, and the monthly payment you are comfortable with and qualify for on your construction loan. Some of our clients have a $600,000 budget. Some of our clients have an $800,000 budget. Some clients just have a blank check and they can get whatever they want and it doesn't matter, but that's not most people. So it's best to establish that budget up front and then design to your budget, meaning you need to be open and clear with the builders that you interview. Tell them up front what you're working with and request help to design your home with that end goal in mind. We found that being clear and upfront is the best way to get the most amount of home while staying within your comfortable shopping allowance. Designing to your budget is also a great way to make sure you're not overwhelmed with the price a builder throws at you. We've seen people want to throw up a little bit and it's not a fun thing. So it's a team approach to maximize your hard-earned dollars in the areas most important to you. So a quick word to the wise: just about anything is possible when building, but not everything is necessarily advisable. So keep your budget in mind.
Number 3, establish what type of builder you need and build your team early in the process. Essentially, there are 3 types of builders: production builders, semi-custom builders, and custom-only builders. Production builders are the prototypical type, high-density cookie cutter neighborhoods that you see go up in a matter of months. It's because they build the same thing over and over. This video is geared more towards folks interested in customization, semi-custom, and custom builders. We found that the vast majority of people with a build budget of $1 million or under really work well in the semi-custom setup. They establish what they need in terms of rooms, space, bedrooms, bathrooms, style, indoor living, outdoor living, all of the fun stuff, and work together with the builder and his team to revise an existing plan to perfectly match all of your needs and preferences. As a side note, it's important to like the builder you're working with, right? Particularly during the dating phase, pay attention to how they communicate. Do they listen to you? Do they communicate respectfully? Do they talk down to you? Do they turn items around quickly, or are they slow to respond? You're going to be working with them for a while, sometimes a year or longer, so it's important to have an enjoyable interaction with them.
Yeah, some other members of your team are actually a good agent or broker that can help you with the process. They'll serve as a liaison to all parties, they'll write up contracts and addenda, they'll help you with the land search, and that particularly applies to a broker who has a lot of experience with land and new construction. Please hear me on this. Land and building is absolutely a specialized sector and niche within real estate, so it behooves you greatly to pick someone that operates regularly in land and new construction. You'll also need an architect. Now, the builder you choose will likely have his own architect, so it may be in your best interest to pick a builder before you choose an architect so that you can kind of utilize that pre-existing relationship. This would help the plan revision process to be a lot more seamless because we mentioned earlier, in the case of semi-custom builders, they probably already have a plan that is close to what you want, and with just a few small architectural changes, they can save you literally tens of thousands of dollars when compared to drawing plans from scratch. So now to my personal favorite team member, the designer. This person should be your best friend. They are an integral part of ensuring that the finished product is exactly what you want. Your designer is the one that makes the home come alive. They put the bling, they put the shine on the house, and they make it yours. So establishing that relationship, walking the builder's showroom and meeting the designer is vital to make sure you're gonna get the home exactly as you want it with the design features and style that matches your needs.
Number 4, land preparation. It's important to work with a local experienced agent broker when looking for land. They will know what to look for: lot sizes, dimensions, how to spot a conforming versus a non-conforming lot. They will protect you in the contract and make sure you have feasibility periods suited to the property itself. Once you have found a lot or two to offer on, we suggest going to the lot and driving during work rush hours. Also, walk around the neighborhood, maybe even meet some neighbors. These are gonna be your neighbors, so it would be really good to meet some of them firsthand.
Yeah, we literally took cookies to all the neighbors in our new house, and it turns out I got my 4-wheel drive truck stuck 2 weeks later, and a neighbor came and pulled me out of a jam. Good stuff awesome. To know your neighbors. Yeah. Number 5, be familiar with what happens prior to breaking ground. A lot happens behind the scenes before the builder breaks ground, and we often tell our clients this is genuinely the longest waiting period that you're gonna have because it appears like nothing's getting done, but there is a lot going on. The builder you choose will begin by surveying the property. At some point, he'll decide what utilities are available. He'll figure out what needs to be done in that regard. He'll obtain deed restrictions if they apply. He'll test the soil in the areas that you and the builder have discussed, actually placing the foundation of the home to make sure the home is solid. If wetlands are involved, he'll facilitate a wetlands delineation in conjunction with the Army Corps of Engineers. And then once all this data is compiled, they'll begin working on your site plan, which is what they officially submit to the city for approval in order to break ground. Simultaneously to all of that behind the scenes, they'll be working with the city to submit your building plans and your utility plans to the city. Also, if there's a homeowners association, we'd have to get permission from the review board to build the home to your exact specs and exterior design.
Wow, that's a lot.
So there's a lot going on, and it can feel like an eternity while these things are happening because frankly, again, you're not seeing much happening at the location, but rest assured this is all part of the process, and if you've chosen the right builder, you're definitely in good hands. And number 6, building the home. This is the fun part, right? This is when things get exciting and they start to heat up. It's wonderful to watch the home begin to come alive like an artist painting a canvas right in front of you, although it takes 6 to 8 months to unfold. It's a really fun thing, and getting to see it, touch it, feel it while it's being built is an amazing experience. Generally speaking, most builders facilitate several walkthroughs with their project manager to answer your questions, let you see, smell, touch, and feel the home, and to make sure that things like your framing and your electrical items, fans, outlets, those sorts of things are in location where you need them to be. It's also worth noting that most builders have clauses in the contract that walkthroughs without written notice are prohibited. This is generally for liability purposes, so we recommend you don't just show up willy-nilly on site at your discretion because there's a lot of things that can happen that are not in either yours or the builder's best interest. So make sure that you set up the appointment with the appropriate personnel before you enter. Then at this point, the big question is delivery. When do you get to take keys and enter the house and sleep there? Yeah, exactly. Everyone's excited to see you move into the home, especially you. So depending on all the factors, a new home build could take as little as 6 months. Sometimes it takes a year or more, just depends on the project. There are various factors that can affect the delivery date. City approvals, inspections, material delivery delays, weather are all examples of things that are totally outside yours or the builder's control, but they can impact the delivery of the home. So sometimes the timeline is a moving target. We have just experienced this ourselves. What we thought was going to be a 6-month project ended up being a 12-month project. This was never more obvious or real during the COVID pandemic. So just know that the builder is on your side. If you selected the right builder, your relationship will continue even after you move in and you're in this together. So be as agile and as patient as you can and know that the end is totally worth the wait. We can assure you that from firsthand experience.
Yes, we can. We are Jonathan and Rachel Beasley of That Fit Team, professionals in real estate and passionate about people. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.
What was that? Like
Them. We're
shooting at
passionate
people?
about them.